Yeah, we're recording now, Angel.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, I know I'm a little dark here, and please forgive the lighting. I have
Yeah,
to,
that's because I
I
have
have
too
to,
much light.
I have to call my agent and tell them this is not acceptable.
Yes, Michael, you're so cute. So I was telling you just now that I was writing about inspiration, and I was asking, I always try to ask myself those questions. So, what inspires me? Who inspires me? Where do I look for inspiration? How do I get inspiration when I need it most? When am I most inspired in my life? And why inspiration? Why is this a concept that we contemplate and think about and seek? You
Mm.
know?
Can I share my
Why?
thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a wordsmith, right?
Yes.
I'm breaking it down for you. In spirit nation. Not inspiration, in spirit nation. Let's say it like that. Inspire, respire, respirare, spiritus, in spiritus. Inspire is in spirit. That's what that means. So, how do you inspire other than taking deep breaths? Because the only thing that is keeping you there is that breath, and you don't consciously take breath. So that means something's breathing you. You want to get inspired? Suck more of that in. How's that? There's your inspiration. People don't think that breathing deeply is going to inspire you, but go run 5K and watch how inspired you are to do some good, to do something that's good for you and everybody else. Because usually people that exercise, they're usually bubbly, they're usually endorphins, right? That's spirit. Shall I
Mm.
say it again, or is that enough? I will let the goddess take over. Go
No,
for it.
yeah, I agree. I like that breakdown that it's but so what you're saying is that we all always seek it.
Well, we're all exactly. We're always being inspired by something, by what we see, by what we feel. I like that one. That's a little personal inside joke, folks. Anyways, yeah, we're always seeing to grow. And how do we grow? Because we don't want to repeat the mundane. And that's what we've been doing here. We're on constant rinse and repeat. And that gets tiring because ask anybody that's past midlife, and their enthusiasm seems to have waned down to a snail's pace. That's how much enthusiasm they have because they've been repeating. Ask a Chrysler worker, okay? How's your day? That's all right, right?
Mm,
Somebody who's repeating their daily routine for decades. There's no inspiration there, and
yeah, yeah.
they forgot to breathe. They forgot to breathe until they forget one day so much so that they die. What they die of? They forgot to breathe. Death, so as not to be called the traitor to life, finds an excuse. Cancer, heart attack, diabetes. You get it?
Mm,
But they forgot to breathe. We are not meant to do anything but inspire ourselves to the light that we are while we are here. We have been bamboozled, tricked, condemned into these lives of servitude that do not contribute anything to the light, but continually we are cogs in the system that is perpetuating darkness on the collective.
mm.
I'm so
Okay.
serious right now that I want to laugh.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good out there. Let's not make it like
No,
bleak
no, no, no.
and
Please, please, please. There is a lot of good, but the good comes from God. Think of the word good. Good and God are synonymous. That's where we get good from God. So tell me the godliness has saturated this plane with this whole darkness that we find ourselves in. I'm
Mm,
saying there's just as much light. We are living in a polarity realm. But the thing is that most of us, you can't convince people that there's something wrong here because they've been trained like good little pets to
yes.
obey. All of us at one point or another were obeying until we wake up and realize, wait a minute here, this is not right. I've been doing this forever. I am tired of it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you begin to awaken to the reality that no, the government is not, does not have your best interest at mind. Doesn't. And so there's a lot of good. But look to the leaders and to the people that run the show and that make the laws. Are you kidding me? They can get away with murder, and we cross the sidewalk at the wrong place and we get a ticket for $50.
That's crazy.
You go bankrupt, tough luck. General Motors goes bankrupt, bailout. Who pays? The slaves, the sheeple, the people that are in servitude to the masters. So we are all still slaves. It doesn't matter that if you say, oh, slavery ended 400 years ago. Baloney. It's still evident this day. So do you like eating on camera? So would you like to offer everybody some food? What are you eating? Jam out of the jar? Straight jam out of the jar, ladies and gentlemen. You've seen it here for the first time. Never seen it in my life. Oh, hummus?
No, it's it's
Jelly.
almond butter, but it's like raw one. So I
Oh,
have it with
yeah, yeah.
honey.
Yes. Almond butter is really good. Isn't that nice, eh? That you can share your open throat on camera, right? Come on now. You got to offer us something. Something. Give us something here. A piece of toast.
Mm,
A piece
mm,
of toast. A cracker. Something.
some.
Not a not a spoon. You don't put almond butter on a spoon and suck it off of a spoon. That's barbaric. You just crawl out from under a rock and you haven't eaten forever. My friend, that is a delicacy, and you are making a mockery out of the almond butter aficionados of the planet.
I love it.
It's good. It's really good.
Mm.
And raw almond butter is way better for you than roasted almonds or cooked almond butter. And we spoke of that before. The more living foods that you can place within your vessel, the easier time your vessel will have in processing that because life gravitates to life.
And
Unless,
raw manuka honey.
oh, Manuka honey is really good for you too. Yeah, that's really
It's so
expensive too.
delicious.
And yeah, and so, anyways, and me and Zaina were speaking of this earlier. It's like when you eat like chicken or a hamburger or something like that, and just think of this line here. I remember reading it in a book called Conscious Eating by Gabriel Cousins. He said, "Do you realize that you're turning your stomach into a cemetery for the carcasses of dead animals?" And so when I read that line, I thought to myself, "Oh my God, that's right."
But we're not saying that like eating meat is bad. No, it's just like, you're not meant to have a lot of it all the time, you know?
No, go ahead, eat your flank.
Listen, I mean, in some respect, like humans have been digesting meat for decades and
for
decades.
for eons, honey. Yes,
Hmm.
I did. Listen, if you could eat at least 80% of raw food, 20% cooked, you'll do a lot better with your body than if you were to eat carcass daily. Because all you're doing,
Yes.
the thing is like,
I
if
mean,
you look at, go ahead.
between you and me, Michael, your poop smells a whole lot better when you're eating more vegetables than you are eating meat. When you're eating meat, your poop smells like dead animal. Like,
I'll make sure next time to do a smell test.
mm,
But
Maybe we should
anyways,
edit that out of there.
why? No, 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 no. Keep it in. It's all good. It's natural, babe. The thing is this.
Natural.
Hey, cackler.
Oh, yes. Let's keep it natural. Let's definitely not edit anything
No, no,
out.
no. Never. We never edit. And we just, the thing is that we're two amateurs here and we're doing the best we can. Please bear
It's
with us, folks.
actually called Michael Zaina and Michael's Hangout. So we get to really talk about whatever we want to talk about. So
Yeah,
today
and
we were
you know
talking
what?
about inspiration, and then Michael broke it down. It's actually inspirer. Pour inspirer en français, ça veut dire
Hey,
inhale, really, what it means.
exactly. Right? Yeah.
Mm,
Think of all of those words, right? Perspire, right?
mm,
Inspire. It's all spirit,
mm,
right? It all has to do with spirit, inspirited, right? Anyways, we were talking about the food, right? And
mhm.
again, please, ladies and gentlemen, I had pepperoni pizza the other day. Don't don't take what I say and run with it and say the guy is like he's against meat. He's telling us what to. No, I mentioned that line because it'll give you some perspective as to like what you're doing to your stomach. If you look at the animal kingdom, if a lion, if a pride of lions hunts down a gazelle, they will all chomp on that bad boy until the blood is gone. Once
Mm.
the blood is drained from that animal, they're Gandhi, man. Because that's the life force is the blood, not the meat, the blood. And they don't cook it. They don't put spices on it, barbecue sauce, salt, pepper, oregano, little garlic, onions on the side. See, that's what humans do, right? We got to mask that carcass. Again, I'm getting like again to flank issue, the carcass of the dead cemetery, pet cemetery.
But like they also like in barbaric ages, they were
But
eating
baby,
meat
wait a
without.
minute. Hold on. I let me finish, please. Yes, the barbaric ages or the times where there was no restaurants or grocery stores and they had to hunt for their food. But think about it. They did not. Most of them ate it raw because there was no way to make fire. Number one, if you look at Eskimos, what they'll cut off a piece of blubber and they'll chew it. Please, they know what they're doing that the original natives of all the lands, raw, they suck the blood out. They kill a buffalo. The first thing they do is heart, and they eat, take a bite of the heart, and they pass it around. The blood, that's where the main blood is deposited there and is distributed.
So
Again,
therefore, what you're trying to say is that their vampire is in our nature.
I'm saying that they're eating free range. It's that's even a misconception. They're eating animals that are in the wild that were not domesticated and brought up in cages and fed antibiotics and hormones to make them 10 times the size in 2 weeks.
I know
Think
that's
about it.
crazy.
You're a chicken, all of a sudden they give you a shot. The next thing you know, you're a month old, but you're a full grown chicken.
Yeah.
If you were that chicken, you'd be like, what the fuck just happened? I was just sucking on mama's tit.
Poor thing.
And
That
now
must be
look at me.
so
I'm laying eggs. I
traumatizing.
don't even know what the hell that is coming out of my house.
I remember I saw some documentary about like how, it was like really bad after a while because there was just not good the food they were having, and there were so many sick ones and stuff. They closed that
It's
chicken
to this
farm,
day, Zena, when the chickens, when they're raised that way and they come down the conveyor belt after they're slaughtered and defeathered, deorganed, and what they come down a conveyor belt, they're just skin, right? And they have no organs in them, right? It's just a skin, what you find in the grocery store. But they look for tumors and they cut them off. If the tumors are on the outside, what do you think's on the inside?
Mm.
and the people are eating it. This is what I'm saying. If you're going to eat meat, look for free range animals that are humanely brought up.
Mm. I
They're
mean, yeah.
they're allowed to roam free, right, and eat grass-fed grain. They, they
Yeah, they're allowed
they're
to
not
live.
given
You know,
hormones.
it's funny. It's like they're allowed to live their life, which is
Yes,
free.
yeah.
And when it's done, it's time for them to be eaten. It's like there is some true. There is, it's not survival of the fittest. It's
It's
not
like a
that, but
recycling. I get it. It's
it
like a
is.
recycling of life.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I remember eating one time. I was having dinner with my parents and my dad. Right,
Yeah.
he would always look at me and kind of like look with a look of like, what is that you're eating? Because I would always eat a big salad
Mm.
around dinner time, right? And no matter
Mm.
what everybody else, an Italian family, they're having fettina, uh, pasta, egg,
You name it.
meatballs, cheeses, salami, aperitifs, olives, the works. And here I am having a salad, a mixed greens. And that's what I would have once a day. In the morning, a fresh juice squeezed or through the juicer, and the and the salad. And so my dad would look at me, and he's looking, and he goes, he's having a steak, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "You see that what you're eating there?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm eating that too." And I said, "You are, looks like a steak to me." And he goes, "What do cows eat?" I said, "Grass. You made your point." So
Mm.
he's eating a cow, which is nothing other than grass or green transformed into meat. So
Mm.
he's making a point too, saying, hey, chill out with this vegetarian stuff.
Mm. I
Because
agree.
we are all doing the best we can and living our lives. And the way my mom put it one time said, hey, you know what? If I can't enjoy the food that I eat, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, please, I apologize if I came across like some kind of a spiritual warrior for vegetarianism. No, like I said, I had pepperoni pizza. I'll have a piece of flank with you. Let's go hunting. Come on. I want to kill
Mm.
Candy.
No, it's not that. It's not that. I mean, no, killing for the sake
I'm
of killing
teasing.
is awful, but
What's that, hun?
I said killing for the sake of killing is a no-no,
No,
but I
I
mean, like,
know. That's I know. I look at that like the dentist there who killed that lion. Do you remember
hey,
that?
did you know that armor sale in the States has gone up 8 million?
I, I say that again. Armor sale? What?
Yeah, the armor sale in the States for
Oh,
personal people for personal armor
oh, like
has gone
bulletproof
8
vests.
million. Yeah, 8 million plus
Yeah,
new people own armor in the States.
yeah, and you know why that is? Because they're afraid, right? With what's going on, a lot of them are buying vests and what have you because if martial law comes into play, they want to be able to protect themselves in case, there's have you ever seen the riot police come in and they just start shooting left, right, and center, rubber bullets, whatever? They even have sound cannons and water guns that they disperse crowds with, right? So if there are protests in regards to this, because the rules are getting ridiculous now.
Mm.
Here in Canada, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Zeina's on the West Coast in the United States, and I'm on the East Coast in Canada. So there's a 3 hour difference. It's 10:30 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time, February 2nd, 2021, or February 20th, not 2nd. Oh boy, living in the past here. And Zaina, you are where?
I'm in on the, like you said, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm in Pacific Standard Time, and it's 7:35 p.m. where I'm at in Seattle.
Seattle, Washington. Beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah, it is. I just love the trees here and the weather. I mean, mind you, it's been a bit cold and rainy the last few days, but there's still something very fresh about it.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have friends out on the West Coast up there, and it's it's beautiful, beautiful home they live in. It
Mhm.
overlooks a forest and hilly land. It's amazing. They've invited me out many times. But then again, it's like wherever you go, there you are. Isn't that
Mhm.
so, Zaina? It reminds me of a
But
story.
I have to say, Seattle's quite cute because it's so hilly, right?
Yeah,
Seattle has a lot of the, so a lot of the homes are built. It's like eclectically, not all the same. Like a lot of places I've
yeah,
been, a lot of homes become homogeneous, the
yes,
same. They all
absolutely.
look the
Yeah,
same.
like Canada.
Yeah, I experienced that in Canada. I experienced that in a lot of parts in the States. I experienced that in Korea, in the Middle East, in Japan. Like I experienced that in a lot of places, but in Seattle, I'm yet to experience like big areas that are homogeneous in nature, looking the homes.
Hmm.
Here, the all the homes look very, I'm telling you, I feel like this air, like this land, the way it's designed, Seattle style, is great for
Yeah,
inspiration
yeah.
to write like wizardy type stories
Oh,
about fairy things
oh
happening in the
yeah. You know what?
forests
And
and
while you were,
animals
yeah,
and
while you were describing, that's what was coming to mind, like a magical place, right? Because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
my friends live in San Francisco. It's same way. Once you get out of the city, right? Even the hilly parts of the countryside, right?
So
It's
I was in the Bay Area in San Francisco, which is like Lafayette area, Oakland area, not Oakland, more like Lafayette.
yeah,
And it was, I loved it. It was again very beautiful, but that was in the, the nice season. You have to understand that in that area as well, they experience a lot of the pollution from the forest fires.
yes,
And
yes.
they
That's
had a
why they moved.
really rough, like fall season. I was there. It was, like it felt like the apocalypse over there.
Why is that though, Zena?
Oh, because there was ashes everywhere.
And the ashes from fires.
Yeah, fires that
Yeah,
were happening in like
yeah.
Napa
And
or something.
unfortunately, you were there at a time when there was fires. But my friends, they moved from there, and they're in San Diego now. Because I jumped to San Francisco because that's where they first moved when they went
Mm,
to California. They're from Windsor, right? Actually,
okay.
she's from Pennsylvania, and he's from Windsor. So they moved to San Francisco, and they were in the Oakland Lafayette area actually,
Mm,
and they moved to San Diego. They're
mm,
basically right outside of Tijuana.
Doing what? What do they do, your friends?
Uh, Actually, she owns a catering company, and he's an artist. He teaches art,
Nice.
and they plus she sells her baked goods and that from her catering company online, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they do. And plus, they at one point they had a radio show called Spiritual Consciousness, Spiritual something. I can't remember the title. It was a spiritual show, anyways, and it ran for several years on a podcast, and they dropped it because they moved around. So
Mm, mm.
yeah.
Oh, it's too bad. It's hard to keep something going for a long time, I would imagine, It
Well,
takes
yeah.
a
I mean,
lot of
that's your
effort.
imagination.
Say that again.
I said that would be your imagination.
Yeah, that would be my imagination.
Yeah,
But
because you spoke into reality, right? It's
mm,
hard to keep them. I always say, talk about what you want, you get what you want. Talk about what you don't want, you get what you don't want. So I'm going
yeah,
to say it's pretty simple to keep something going if your focus remains there. As
I
soon
absolutely agree with you.
Thanks, babe. As soon as you are distracted, how about this? As soon as it is no longer enjoyable, that's when it's dropped.
But then, in that, well, then how could you commit to anything in life? Then I mean, that cannot be a right way of looking at things.
And wait a minute, are we in polarity again? Right way and wrong way? Because I just want to say this. You know what, Angel? I apologize if I come across as a jerk, as a clever jerk.
No, I know you, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
when
matter to me.
when you
I
said
already
that,
know you're.
instantly I think of this. Is the soul looking for expansion and joy, or is the soul looking for mundane bullshit? Because you said, well, then how are you supposed to uh, uh, achieve anything in life if it stops bringing you joy and you drop everything? Then basically you're saying you're going to drop everything that you start because it no longer brings you joy. But there's things in my life that I would do as a child that to this day bring me joy.
Yeah, and that's the one thing in my life, yoga, that I've always done and brings me joy, and that's my baby that I'm gonna stick
Well,
to.
there you go. So if I say to you, hey, Zaina, listen, uh, why did you stop cleaning up the garbage in the city? You were doing such a good job. Wasn't it making you happy at all? Cleaning
Picking
everybody,
up garbage?
yeah, cleaning everybody else's shit. Doesn't that make you happy?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Are you
I,
talking to me?
I'm giving you the example. Is that's not bringing you joy, so why would you continue to do that? How many people are at dead end jobs? They never want. How many people go to school, get a degree, and then either never use the degree, or if they get in that profession, 20 years go by and they're like miserable.
Mm.
So, as to
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced a lot of people like that. Like, I really have been around a lot of like, I'm not gonna use the word miserable because it's such an extreme, but my experience of married couples is that a big part of themselves is silenced in the relationship. There's a big part that's always not allowed or given voice to, eh, in order to acclimate and get accustomed to the what society requires of us. Does that make sense?
well, yeah, and then what are you doing other than constricting your own expression, right? You're cutting off your own self-expression because of societal views, right? And so that's the
Well, I mean, not if you like, I mean, listen, not if you have really been a very contemplative child and have like thought these things for yourself, and I think unfortunately that number is not large, like we I don't know, I'm talking for myself. My experience is that people come to become people become aware of the complexity of our thinking and how we understand ourselves through the amount and the degree to which we allow ourselves the freedom to experience life as it shows up. Because there has to be a trust in that no matter, how far I fall, something is going to catch me. But then some people will argue that what about the examples of the people who go too far and life doesn't catch them, like, take too many pills and die of pills, or
yeah.
did I
Well,
get loopy on that?
kind of. She'll be here all week, folks. Um,
Yeah, like I got a bit loopy on that. I
yeah,
didn't make
yeah, just a
sense.
little
Is that
bit.
what you're
That's
saying? Is that
okay.
I didn't
I
make sense?
get the gist of it. I get the gist of it, right? Um, I don't know what else to say on this topic actually because I haven't been in a relationship for decades. So
Mm.
I always say better alone than ill accompanied. So
Oh,
my
I'm quite happy in my relationship because it's very unorthodox and it's not the typical Jane and Barbie, whatever, the
yeah, and
Ken
to
and
each his
Barbie.
own, to each his own, babe. everybody's different in their
Yeah.
approach to relationship. Myself, I've dedicated myself to something greater right now. And not to say that a relationship isn't a way to explore
Absolutely, it
a
is. I
higher
mean,
meaning
you
of,
explore yourself through your relationship with me.
yeah, yes, no doubt. This is what I'm saying though. I chose this for myself because I realized that ever since I had, ladies and gentlemen, I had an experience in 1989. You can say it's pointless me talking about it. Let's just say I had an experience, a powerful experience, and I no longer was the individual I did a 180. I was like everybody else pursuing a career, money, stability. And after that experience, I had no fear of how I was to survive in this life because I knew, as Zaina just said, something would always be there to catch me. And since I entered this initiation, if you don't already know, I'm in a wheelchair for the last 32 years. Since this initiation began, it doesn't matter how tragic my life became, there was always something there to cushion the blow or to restore my sanity or regain balance once again, because it is not easy, I'll tell you right now, having to ask continuously for help, especially when you were such an independent person before.
Fiery.
Spinal cord injury is not a fun and game event. I'm a happy-go-lucky individual. I never give anybody my problems. I don't think I've ever called you, Zaina, and been mean, like treated you badly because I was in pain.
No, on the contrary, you don't want to hear it, any sympathy almost sometimes, because you just want to be treated, without the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so over the decades, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to realize that pain is nothing other than thought processes. I shared with Zaina yesterday, for the first time in a long time, I had some booze. I had Caesars. And I think I must have overdid it because couple hours went by and I started to sweat profusely. I mean, like buckets, where I had to change my shirts. And honest to goodness, 3 loads of laundry of damp, soaked shirts, towels. That's because I did something that I haven't done in decades, and my body reacted to that. But I'll tell you, as I was sweating, right, it was painful. It was painful because my body was releasing those toxins all at once. I could tell that because it was coming out in buckets, it wasn't coming out like a little bit of sweat at a time. No, I was sweating profusely everywhere, chest, back, head, arms. And I'll tell you, I have not sweat from the chest down for 32 years.
Wow.
But now I drink the alcohol, my whole upper torso, including my upper legs, were full of sweat. Now that's a release of toxins that I keep saying we're in a time right now where your soul is literally settling in to your vessel. It's sending more energy in. Why? Because it's matching the frequency of the Aquarian constellation. This may sound heavy, but it's not. Just like you travel from the northern part of the world to the southern part of the world, you're going to experience a change, sometimes a drastic change. You've gone for 30 below zero, all of a sudden you're at 92 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. for all of you Celsius Fahrenheit converter buffs out there. That's pretty accurate. Anyway, change. And there she is eating again. This girl is an eating machine. She never stops eating. That's why she's always talking about poop and how
No,
it's
I'm not.
No, you're not. But you
That.
did mention if you eat meat, your poop smells different. And I will say if you eat meat, you will it's a subtle aggression that settles in because most of everyone eats meat that's not free range.
I mean, and it's like anything, whatever spices you eat come out of your pores. Same thing with meat. It's going to come out of your pores.
Yeah, and well, it's going to come out in your thoughts as well. Because the thing is that cow was in a line, right, with his buddies, and they were approaching D-Day, which is a bolt gun to the temple. Think about it. You're a cow, you see your buddy take a step forward, all of a sudden some guy smack, it's not even a guy. It's a machine, bolt right to the temple, dead. And the cow sees his buddy drop dead, and he starts to shake and tremble in fear. Well, there's a lot of poison that's released in the body in that moment because the cow wants to self-destruct before they have to go through that.
Poor thing.
Yeah. Have you ever looked into a cow's eyes?
Yeah, they're so gentle and sweet.
Yes. It's such a gentle animal, and it's like you think to yourself, oh my goodness, no wonder they're revered in India because they give milk. In India, that's what you see a cow. Well, you've been to India, babe. You see
Many
cows.
times.
You see cows in the middle of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's bothering the cows.
They drink the pee there.
Yeah, yeah. It's called auto urine therapy. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. In babe, I must confess, I did that in 1996.
You drank cow pee?
I drank my own pee for about 10 months.
Wow. Why?
I wanted to see the difference. I read all about it. You can read up about it. It's called auto urine therapy. My buddy's been doing it for a couple of dozen years, 20
So that
years
means
at least. Yeah, he does
he's
it.
been drinking his pee for 20 years?
Yeah, it's not only he drinks it, he bathes in it.
Wow.
He stores it in jars. The older it gets, the more powerful the enzymes become in it. See,
That's horrible.
Well, see, Angel, it's like, what do you think pee is? Do you think that that's waste?
It's like fermented waste.
No, it's not. You want me to tell you what it is? I will let the audience know what it is. Urine is nothing other than all of the minerals that you ingest throughout the day. Your kidney filters out exactly what the body needs. Okay? And every other mineral that is not needed in the moment is expelled through the urine. That is sterile water with minerals in it. And so when you drink it, you're reintroducing the minerals that weren't captured by the kidney to distribute in the body. And so, what's that?
So you're saying it's good to drink it. It's like mineralizing your water with good stuff.
Well, it is, but then again, it's like just the thought of it alone is gagging, right? Because
Yes.
trust me, it took me at least 2 months before I would just go drink it, right? I would still gag, but I would drink it without question. Anyways, my friends, can we continue this in about 35 minutes or so? We'll do a part.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna see. Yes, you're gonna be still up. Don't you want to go to sleep, Michael?
I rested for 2 hours. I believe I said that to you, hon. I just got the therapist that's walking in the door right now.
Okay, okay, call me back. Yalla, bye.
I'll give you a shout back. All right, Angel? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening if you're out there.